Welcome to Voices with Lady D, where every voice has power. I'm your host, Lady D Denise Gomez Green, inviting you to join me each week for real conversations, powerful stories, and uplifting perspectives that shine a light on voices from the community and the diaspora. Kick off your week with the Monday Drive from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Dive deep on Thursdays with Center Stage from 6 to 8 p.m. And ease into your weekend with Saturday Morning Runnings every Saturday at 10 a.m. Catch Voices with Lady D on YouTube, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network online and YouTube, and Fit FM 96.7 in Stuart Castle, Trelawney, Jamaica, or tune in on Linkage Radio online. So lock in, turn it up, and remember, every voice has power. This is Voices with Lady D. Ready for real talk and powerful conversations? Then subscribe to Voices with Lady D on YouTube, where culture meets commentary and the diaspora speaks loud and clear. Don't just scroll. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and tap the bell so you never miss a moment. From laughter to legacy, it's all happening here. Voices with Lady D, where every voice has power. This summer, set sail for a purpose. Join Eagles Wing Community Outreach Inc. for the second annual Ghana Missions Boat Ride, Sunday, June 22nd at 6 p.m. We're boarding aboard the Skyline Princess at One World Sphere Marina, Flushing, New York. And this isn't just a boat ride. It's a night of mission, music, and meaning. Enjoy live performances from dynamic guest artists Janet Lewis, Jocelyn Foster, and Dwight Schroeder, plus music by DJ Apache to keep the energy flowing all night. Come dressed in your finest African attire and celebrate culture, faith, and purpose. All aboard the Skyline Princess. The cost is $125. Scan the QR code to buy your tickets. It's hosted by Bishop Julian and Reverend Dr. Ingrid Stevenson. Call 914-620-5070 for more information or to reserve your ticket. The Ghana Missions Boat Ride. Praise, purpose, power. Set sail aboard the Skyline Princess and help build a vocational training school and church for the youth of Adase. Together we're creating opportunity, empowerment, and hope for generations to come. Be a part of the journey. Don't miss it.
Minister Patrick Tyson and Brother Claver Schrouter, in collaboration with Sister Lemuel Hunt, presents A Taste of Heaven on Earth Part 2 on Saturday, September 13th, 2025, to be held at the Bronxwood International Church of God, located at 3232 Lurton Avenue in the Bronx. Featuring Minister Judith Gale, Minister O'Shane Mays from out of Jamaica, Minister Claver Schrouter, Minister Dwight Schrouter, Brother Tajay Nichols, aka Singer Wayne, and Sister Shakira. Tickets adults $40, children $25. Doors open at 5 p.m. Showtime 6 p.m. sharp. Your MCs for the evening will be yours truly, Minister Patrick Tyson and Lady D. A part of the proceeds from this event will go to Bronxwood International Church of God Carpet Project. This event is sponsored by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant. For tickets and more information, you can contact Minister Tyson at 347-961-6785 or Minister Claver Schrouter at 914-336-0623.
Hey Trelawney, it's Lady D, reaching you straight from New York with love. Catch me every week on Fit FM 96.7 in Stuart Castle, Duncan's Trelawney, Jamaica. It's Voices with the Lady D on Linkage Radio, streaming live on YouTube. Join me Monday for the Monday Drive from 5 to 7 p.m. and Friday for Center Stage from 5 to 7 p.m. And me just want to know who under the mango tree with them iPhone, iPad, and transistor radio, because trust me, you can't afford to miss the show. Music, vibes, and real talk every time. Voices with Lady D, where every voice has power. Stay locked in. Trelawney, me love you no bad. Celebrate the heartbeat of Caribbean culture with Saturday Morning Runnings. Join us on Saturday at 10 a.m. on YouTube as we showcase the vibrant heritage of Jamaica and the wider Caribbean with 4 incredible women, Sherns, Max, Jackie, and yours truly, Lady D. From powerful stories to cultural traditions, we're bringing the flavor, rhythm, and excellence of the Caribbean straight to you. It's more than a show. It's a celebration of the roots and traditions that inspire and unite us. Subscribe to Voices with Lady D on YouTube and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn to stay connected. Every Saturday at 10 a.m. it's Saturday Morning Runnings. Come feel the vibes. Saturday Morning Runnings, where Caribbean heritage comes alive. This Saturday's topic, broke after burial. Why are families going into debt to bury their loved ones? Big funeral, full crowd, empty pockets, and nobody asked how they could help when the person was alive. Let's talk about the pressure to perform after death, funeral debt and guilt, breaking traditions that no longer serve us. Saturday at 10 a.m. live on Saturday Morning Runnings on Voices with Lady D. Subscribe, like, share, and tune in. Bring your friends and family. Bring everybody, because on Saturday Morning Runnings, culture meets conversation, and every voice has power.
Morning.
Good morning. How are we doing?
Mac. We're good. We're good. Howdy. How you do? How you do?
I am not complaining, darling. I'm here in my right mind in one piece, and I feel pretty good, better than last week. So,
No.
praises to the Almighty One.
That's right. Amen. Amen. Welcome everyone to Saturday Morning Runnings with Dea. How you're all doing? Max just said that she's awesome. I am blessed. Going through, but every day we give thanks. So we're gonna do some finger waves and say thank you, Lord. Welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Runnings. Listen to me. Today's topic is bound to spark some comments. It's such a pity that on this platform we can't take calls, and have a
It would have been awesome. Yes.
right? But of course, you have the autonomy to post your comments in the chat. We'll post them for everyone to see, and you will get the opportunity to say, hey, this has happened to me, or I know people who are going through this. Many of us have had to bury our loved ones. We've had to support people who are grieving and going through that process. And it is, somewhat challenging because times are difficult, right, Max? Times difficult.
Yes,
People are living lives left, right, and center, but sometimes we forget about this part. Not only do we forget.
Yes, and that happens every day.
Yes, and sometimes not only do, we kind of shelve it to the side. But when the rubber
Mm-hmm.
meets the road, we realize, oh Lord, we are not
Yep.
prepared. And some of us have
Mm-mm.
benefited from support to um, hold down the shame, because your
Yeah.
loved one is
Yeah.
buried, they can't be held for an extended period of time. So those of us who have gotten support, we're always grateful. And then there are those who, yes, man, they are prepared. But not only about the death, but about the lavish funerals that some people
Yes.
are hosting these days, the cost. So we're just
Yes.
going to talk this morning. Everybody pocket different, right? Whatever is in the
Of
pocket
course.
and you pull out is what you can do. But sometimes we
Yeah.
overextend ourselves, and we
That's
want to
true.
kind of say, hey, can we do a little back up a little bit and, you know, kind of put more thought into what am I doing? Where are the resources coming from? How am I going to pay it back? All these
Yeah.
things.
They say try to hang your hat where your hand can't reach it.
That's right. So we are saying welcome. And of course, this is Saturday Morning Runnings, where culture meets conversation. And, I just love the tagline. And for
Me too.
voices, every voice has power. So you're on the Voices platform this evening, and it's Saturday Morning Runnings. We are running a little behind. Jackie will be joining us. Sharon's is on a mission. So if she's able to, patch in, we will receive her with such open arms, because Sharon's has her thing. Each of us, I just love the crew. Each of us have our unique gifts and talents, and it comes popping out in the screen to you. So welcome. So Maxie, your week was great. Here we have
Yes,
shared.
my week was great. Busy
Yes.
as usual, busy as always. Sometimes I wonder how I do it, and that's why I give a lot of praise and thanks to God, because I'm not the one who's doing it. He's the one who's helping me to do it, to plod along and trot along, physically and mentally, that is. Because sometimes,
Yes.
no matter what the physicality is good, if the mental is not there, it's not going to happen. So
It,
we're thankful for both. But
absolutely.
it's a very intriguing topic, and when I saw the topic, I'm like, yes. I mean, I wasn't able to join the huddling, but of course, everything was posted in the notes, and I said to myself, I've seen a few videos going around. And I know you
Mhm.
have seen them too, and I think that's one of the things that sparked this topic this morning.
It
And
has.
death
Yes.
is something that nobody can escape, and we all have experienced it one way or the other, whether it's personal, family member or outside world or friends or whatever neighbors. But it's something that we cannot resist, hide from, put
Mhm.
to the side. It is the
Mhm.
reality of living and of life. But
Yes.
but but then it has gone to an extreme now where if your pocket not long, as Jamaicans would say, and you have a little simple funeral, people talk about it.
Mhm.
But back in the days, it was not so. As I've written in my notes, because I personally had experience. I was only 8 years old when my grandfather passed away. Those of you
Mhm.
who are listening to the sound of my voice, I was only 8, but everything is set in my brain as if it happened yesterday. I never forget.
Mhm.
My grandfather was not placed in the morgue.
Oh.
He was not, the body was not sent to a morgue. No, I remember where we lived, there was a one room behind the house. It was detached,
Mhm.
not made onto it, but a room by itself. And the back, and nobody was living in the room. And they placed a bed without the mattress, like just a spring, and they put the
Mhm.
body on it, and they had ice all over it. It was ice
Oh.
and cleaver
Yes.
grass bush and pimento
Yes.
seed and all these things they put on to
Yes.
preserve it.
Yes. Mhm.
And it stayed there for a few days well on that zinc, whatever they had it on. And everybody who came to the dead yard, they would go and open the door and go show the body. I don't know what it was for. It's just this
Mhm.
week I was laughing about the whole idea. And it stayed there, and this was probably about the Tuesday or so that he had passed away. I don't remember what day it was, but it was for a few days with on ice. And we had
Mhm.
to go far to get the ice. We had to walk to Clonmel to buy big blocks of ice from the ice truck to put on the body.
Mhm.
The casket or the coffin back then is what they call it, was made from cedar wood or from maho tree that came off his property. My uncle,
Mhm.
who is a carpenter, he was the one he and three other men in the district, they made the coffin.
Mhm.
My grandmother purchased sponge and fabric to line the inside of the coffin. They bought the handles for the coffin. Everything was made from scratch right in our little yard there in the district. No,
Okay.
we didn't have to buy no chicken and no goat and no cow. Everybody bought something. Somebody bring a bunch of banana. Somebody brought some yam. Somebody buy a few tin of sardines, some saltfish. Everything was provided there. We never had big pots and big serving spoons and big this. People brought over their own dishes. I mean, plates, bowls, cups for us to serve the coffee,
Mhm.
sheets. People never had big tablecloth, so they used the white sheet from the bed and food to put on tables. They even brought the table over. So
Yeah.
everybody brought something to assist, to help, to make things flow.
Mhm.
So there was no big spending here. And
Mhm.
it was easy and simple and went well. At night, everybody would gather and they would sing. People carry chocolate, people carry coffee, whatever they had to bring. But we never had to buy a lot of stuff because the money was
Mhm.
not there anyway. So people pulled in to help. But now
Yeah.
it's a different era. It's now
Yeah.
it's like a wedding.
Think- I mean, like, it's like a wedding. But we get you. We get you. Yes. So, and what I appreciate with you ladies is that some of the things that I am not too familiar with, you are. And so you bring your game.
Right.
And I thank you for sharing that because I saw that in my community. But for
Right.
us, people who whether died in my family, I don't recall that. They were sent to a morgue and what have you, and funeral home and this and that. So I don't have that firsthand experience, but I do know that the community, for the other people who passed in the community, yes, there was that spirit of, solidarity. People collaborate,
Right.
people help, and people ask, when we can do for you, and so on. you
Yeah.
know, you are absolutely right because I have here queued a video that was done by a pastor who is also a speaker. He goes around the island and he's really good at what he does, but he's very grassroots.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to share the
Yes.
video for those of you who perhaps have seen it or have not seen it. And so we thought, hey, we could talk about this thing because it is true. And not only is it
Uh,
true, Max, about the exorbitant costs and how we are spending,
yes.
but it's always alarming to those of us who said, Is that necessary?" We ask the
Yes.
question, but not only that, what he was alluding to in the video, which I'll now share, is that most times when these people pass, the family members, friends, and so on weren't always there.
Present. Yes.
They weren't always there. They don't stop by if they're in the same locale. They don't stop by if them are foreign. They beg them something, them cry how they not have it. But when they get,
Uh-huh.
so I'll leave that there and take you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It's Broke After Burial and a whole lot more. Why we spend so much, but do we really care about our loved ones? And are we
Yes.
showing? That's pretty much what we are asking this morning. So before we head on over, though, Maxie, to the video, let's pop in
Uh-huh.
and say good morning to everyone. So producer is here, Evil Green. So he's in the back office there monitoring, but I'd like to say good morning, sir. And also morning to my brother, Mike, who is here this morning. Hey, Mike, good to see you, Drea. Always tuning in from
Always
Barbados.
present.
Then here is my logistics coordinator for the upcoming Penance Homecoming 2026 event, Errol Stewart, aka Cat. Then Charles is here with us. Charles, you should have a whole lot of stories to share. And
Yeah.
so we just want to say from our platform, you know, seriously funny topic this morning. Remember, your voice has power. Yes, thank you. And also to my sissy Jen is here. Good morning, beautiful ladies and all viewers. Happy Saturday.
Thank
So,
you.
Evolve says, Max, you have it down to the T. based on your opening sentence. So, Andrea said those were the
Thank
days.
you.
Lovey says, good
Yes.
morning. Good morning, Lovey. And let's see who else is around the corner here so we can get on over to our video. Mike says, oh yeah, Max, me too, my father and grandparents. Eval says,
Yep.
Max, we are giving out with age. I know what
I
you
know. I thought about it just now. Yeah. It's just a number, darling. It's just a number.
That's right. Good. I have similar memories with my grandparents because he and Mike are brothers. So, Papa Jesus, you certainly have retained a lot for an 80-year-old. You're a cat out of order. So Charles says, I don't think anyone should try to make anyone shame because they can't hold big party for their dead when they never freed
Yes.
the person when they were alive. So that's
Mhm.
comments have kicked off. I still haven't figured out why they passed me over the dead body. Anybody know? Oh dear. So we'll get into that. We come back. Andrew says many people don't care. Some leave overseas to come and claim house, etc. They never offer anything to the living. Yeah.
And then brought big fights. True.
Yes, yes. Jen says funeral is very costly. Versus the best thing to do is have life insurance to help ease the business of your loved one's death, while they are mourning and have to be worried about financial expenses. Indeed. So I'm going to take you now, ladies and gentlemen, to a video that, we came upon, which we thought we should share because this is so true to form and, as we said, to life. Lord have mercy. So we're going to share that with you now. And here we
You
go.
can't send one little money. You are work out of parish and you can't send one little money. But as soon as them dead, goat dead, hog dead, chicken dead, fish dead, cow dead, and everybody in the community and them down the place, but your mother couldn't eat one proper meal. It is better you take care of your loved ones them. And when they die, you have one look a papa burial, but at least them they live a good life. So now you walk go on someone. When they look at some of our parents, when them a gone man, but they look pop down like Shabush, them a come from, because they have no proper clothes. But when they get there in a big frack and cheap-piece suit. True, I'm going to name them.
True.
Proper show business. Those chatter roses when I'm gone. The Bible says, all that you have trying to define, you could even buy one stop leak put on the house. But as soon as funeral come, you come down, and come go like you're nice. You're not nice. So about go with us to come back in the bush. I want to spend time with loved ones then. Can we buy one proper phone gift to daddy if you make it in a life? I say, can I make a video call and check up on all of that? Because your boss not. We must treat with loved ones them right. Yes? You can't make your parents dead for hungry and everybody a wanga got a wanga belly. And by the way, sister, people take with idiot. When people are truly grieving, them not have no appetite. So how comes when you have a death in the family, everybody on the answer? Don't go back 10, give me a wave there. A fool then take your from. Once upon a time, Elder Marissa, when you lost a loved one, and somebody come, Sister Anne-Marie and go so, and say, hey, well, I'm pan this, and I'm not much, but put it on the package. And another man come and say, hey, me got keep the ram here for Christmas, but me know, see, I go have cooking, so look, it's not so big, but every little can make a sense. Nowadays, nobody not give you nothing. Go Camille, you come down for the funeral. Yes, that's what I'm here for. A lot of time I see a girl, let's up with me, give them the body, make them go bury it. We must learn to treat people with dignity. You know you walk one man. No. As soon as people dead, they not to start grieve properly. You come over here and say, what are you here from? Me come here and me no see no phone. Go down your yard. When I served in a certain pastoral district, Sister Fisher, watching online, Sister Mary, a certain member lost her husband, another member. And when I went to visit her, she said, "Mr. How are you coping?" She said, "Pastor, may I take it one day at a time, but me worried there now." I said, "Why you worried?" She said, "Cause you know, say, boy, the man them a come and people them at night time, you have to go cook, you give them a drink also. And then you grave thing, you have to go cook food. And then the night you have to go cook again. And then no upon the funeral, you have to go have repast. And I said, "Darling dear, you lost your man, don't lose your mind." She said, "What you mean?" I said, "Listen, when you have grief, you have pray. So when they come at night time, if they have one bad belly, give them a little tea, or give them one drink of water, and make them pray and sing and guard them yard. And for the grave digging, you don't need any big bashman, cook for the man that were really did that do the work. And then you now have no night, let's have a prayer meeting that we come in and we pray and give testimonies and tributes about the person and read the Bible and comfort the family. And then know what we can do, we can schedule the funeral for 10 o'clock at Spring Garden Church so that they can come at funeral and go back home and have the food with that in yard."
Reality. I love this guy. He's a Seventh-day Adventist pastor in Manchester.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So, Max. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've just seen the video, and so that's where the conversation is stemming from. Now, again, if family members are able to afford, so we are not crossing over into your affordability. If you can afford to send them off in fine style, whether it's the carriage and the horse, right? The glass casket, we can just stay a mile away and look at the deceased.
Right.
Fine. But sometimes families don't have it. We don't have it.
Yeah.
And again, Jen mentioned about, having life insurance. Some people don't even have that. They may
know what life insurance is.
They can't afford it because I've seen people choose what they are earning and what they believe they can afford and turn down a life insurance policy. And years later, they become ill. And there is nothing. So, we sometimes...
Sorry, if I may butt in there for a second. Because the insurance policy is one thing. And a lot of people sometimes don't do it because if you start and you can't keep up with the payment, whatever you have paid into already, you lose it. Once you lapse it, it becomes nothing. You have nothing. So I think that's why some people don't get into the insurance policy. They rather just save the money somewhere else, and not touch it, than try to get and put it away when a little at a time by themselves instead of doing the insurance thing. Because insurance, as you know, most of them, when you start there and you lapse them, that's it. You lose everything. There's nothing to get if you can't keep up. So, that's another story.
Yes, that's another story. So let's talk about family. Because we know. So welcome, everyone. And of course, you started posting your comments. We ask you to just keep flooding, share your experiences or, that you have observed from other people's scenarios. We welcome the comments, but we know how important it is to have good family life, relationships. And when relationship breaks down, it impacts everybody. So two people in a family may have had some disagreements and time maybe hit somebody hard, because we can be working today and not work tomorrow. We can be healthy today and not healthy tomorrow, right?
Absolutely.
So in all of the good times, it's so important for us to maintain healthy, wholesome, and loving family relationships. Because if we're not talking to each other, and then bam, something happens, and now we need your help. Not only it happens, but we need resource, financial resource, money drying up. If when I reach out to you, whether you're in my country or you're overseas, and I reach out and say, hey, Patsy, me down on my face, and me not have no money to do this, and me not have no money to do that. Because many of us have families all over the place. Those who are Jamaican, we have families, and when people grapple about, or when the texts come and them ask and so on. But for many of us who have lived there, had it hard, because I had it hard one time. I know what it is. So when I ask for help and you say, boy, me disappear, me can't note, and we go down the laundry list. It can be very distracting, because in that moment, and I'm going to the very core of why it is so important to maintain relationships and still step outside of what's going on good for you and put yourself into the other person's shoe, because anything can strike at any moment. So when they ask for help, and we always say we don't have it, we don't have it, we don't have it. And I speak from experience. But then you have to check yourself and say, all right, maybe I can move something around. Because some of us are moving around. We use the term rob Peter, pay Paul a lot. We have to move things around to help, because some people will always be in need. So when those things happen, we just remove ourselves and say, boy, you have to go manage. You're on your own this time, I can't help you. And you in your head not say, you can't see no way out. But then here comes the reality, as our pastor is declaring in this video we just watched, that when something do happen now, like death, all of a sudden everybody start to scramble, because you have to go remove shame, because your family have to be buried. So what you're going to, and not only that, and that is where now we bring it. So again, family relationship, we sing it on this program, is crucial to many things, Maxie, and to everybody listening.
Yep.
Because when they die, or when we die, because everybody think we're going to live forever, but every day somebody dies. But truthfully, when we die, we have to go get buried. So if we never had anything in place, somebody have to go bury we. So when them have to go bury we now, to take out the shame, so that it not look bad that Mary, they are foreign, Tom, they are foreign, who they wear, and the funeral can happen. Some show have to go be staged. So we have to stage something fast, because whether it is, so that's what he's saying. The whole time, help, but suddenly the best dress, the best suit, the most fancy coffin. Again, I mentioned about the carriage and the horse, all kind of something. Not to mention the band that people say you have to get for the night.
Band.
All of those something there. And in these recent times, as he alluded to, which me and you and everybody else know, Max, nobody knows, can I give you something? Let me give you something. So everybody ask now. And I can share with you, and then I'll allow you, Maxie. I can share with you when my Alex passed, I got support. But in addition to that, a nephew calls and say, hey, auntie, me said, everybody ask, say, if you're going to send down anything for cookings and band. I just said to him, I said, my son is resting and he will be laid to rest. So please tell everyone if they would like to host something, they can go right ahead. But it wouldn't be coming
Yes,
from
you
the
don't have a problem with that. Yes.
no, we're not doing anything like that. But he made well known. I'm saying that's okay too. It's so good to be known in your
Yeah.
community. Mhm. But no, we're not doing none of that. And he wasn't pleased, but I sent him on his merry way.
Yes.
So I am just
You have to hang your hat where you can reach it.
yes.
Yep.
So we have to kind of check ourselves now. Because who we staging this for? As the gentleman said, the people them who just come eat and sing and go on at them yard.
And go out in the yard. And then you're gonna have people who argue after the fact too, even no matter how well you do it, there's gonna be someone or a few that will have negative to say.
Yes.
Oh, me
You
never
know,
get none of the food. Oh, the room did a little bit.
mhm.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because that's how black folks are. And then when the neighbor pass away and the neighbor can't afford to throw this big feast, they chat the neighbor, talk about how the family mean and they never cook no cow and they never cook curry no goat and all these things. They have negatives to say because you can't keep up with them, with the other person who had a big feast.
See,
You have to hang your hat where your hand can reach it.
of course. So we're just being practical here this morning on the show.
Yes.
And as Eval says, and they bring takeout.
Yes,
bring
they do.
takeout
Containers,
containers.
yes. Yes.
They come with their
I've seen it.
containers ready.
I
Andrea
have
is
seen it.
laughing. But it's true. And Eval also
Let me
says funeral is no longer a grieving matter by the community. It's all about belly full.
It's true. Let me tell you something. I heard this with my own ears when Norman mother passed away. We went to Jamaica for the funeral, for the burial and everything. And one thing that I observed is I saw a white car parked up. And on top of the car there was bags of cheese chips, banana chips. The woman was selling cigarette, rum, everything, at the dead yard, the park on the roads, and they were selling stuff from the car. I couldn't get over it until now that thing sink in my head and I can't get over it. That somebody parked up their vehicle and was selling stuff. And at the graveside to where they bury them, the same car was there this Sunday. After the funeral, they was parked up selling stuff. So anything you want to buy, a drink, a snack, anything you can get to buy right there on spot, right at the burial spot. And I found that very intriguing. I couldn't believe my eyes because, yes, very distasteful. They had a ban at Norman's mother set up. They had a ban, but they could afford to do a ban because most of her kids live here. Everybody pool money and send money, so they never really have to spend anything over there. And in Jamaica, nobody in Jamaica had to come out of their pocket to do anything because all of us here pooled together, and the funeral was grand because she was really well known to her, as you mentioned. So it was a good funeral. It was a good send-off, and she lived pretty well while she was alive. So nobody felt guilty and felt bad in their mind or in their heads that, okay, she never lived good and we'll give her this big send-off. It was well worth it, and she well deserved it. I'm telling you, because this woman was the community giver. She gave her best, and she gave her all, if I may put it that way. She's the kind of person if she's making dinner and she walk in the shop, they had this grocery shop and the house is behind. And if she see if 10 men in the shop, she would come and say, you want a little dinner? And she would share it herself, give her own food to them. So everybody knew her and everybody put together when she passed away, and she got a very good send-off. And that was well deserving of. But then there are others who are trying to get good send-off and they never give a pin when they were alive too. So that's another part of the program. Where the person that is deceased, never business with nothing, nobody, never helped, never given anything. But when this person passed away, everybody's trying to give them a big send-off. And they never contribute to the community or give anything. So that's another part of it too.
That is true.
So it goes both ways.
For that. So here Carol says now, hey Carol, love this pastor. He's a realist. That's just the truth.
Yes.
Too many times, even the children don't help as they should, and then a plain lion of people come for funeral. Wait, Lord,
It's
yes,
true.
I love that.
It's hurt, but it's the truth.
Good morning, Patrick. And then she says, so after Carol vent now, she says, good morning, Lady D and others.
Good morning.
She said, real talk, real talk. Ebal says, some family members make no plans for their final days. They leave it all to their families.
Yes, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Andrea says, a recent co-worker ran around for her mother, who she found out has cancer. The girl comes to work tired, running, trying to get things to her mother. Financial wise, the daughter has it hard. Yes.
I know.
Yeah. Morning, Paula. Paula, you're laughing. Carol says, don't forget the color scheme like wedding.
Yes, that too. They tell
Yes.
you what color to wear. It's true.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Everyone says funeral turn carnival these days. Mm-hmm. Andrea
That's a
says
fact, Mr. Green.
the mother wouldn't allow her to drive her car. Right now, she's struggling to get funeral sorted, waiting on the uncle who the mother left everything to. You see that though?
Yes.
She wouldn't allow her daughter to drive the car. I am telling you.
No, your
Andrea
daughter
says,
have
here
all
at the
any.
burial ground, they sell snow cone, drinks, maybe snack.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I just said. At Norma's mother funeral, they did that. I'm telling you, including cigarette and Rizla. Everything.
I see that in my island, and I was mad as a shark. No, sir. Hey, Rich. Rich says, good
Everything
morning.
becomes a business.
Nowadays, a funeral is like a birthday party. Get used to it.
Yes.
New generations, they say when you're born, we should cry because we don't know what that person is going to face in life. But when you're dead, we
True.
should celebrate the life that hey, okay.
That you lived.
I
Yes.
hear that. Yes. So thank you for that, Rich. So, but in all of that now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So in all of it now, Maxie, here we are. You mentioned that maybe that person in the community wasn't very nice. They were maybe selfish, didn't care, didn't give. And when we talk about giving, it's not always financial, right? You
Yes.
give up your time,
Right.
you give a mango, a green banana, breadfruit, what have you. You give something,
Whatever.
or you
Give
you
advice.
volunteer in the church and stuff. So there's a pastor who comes up from time to time. He hasn't been by us in a few years, but when he would be here, he was asked to speak at a service at the Bronxwood Church, Bronxwood International Church of God here in the Bronx. And they don't usually have the body in the church during a funeral lying in the church. They don't do that.
Okay.
But you can
Mhm.
host the service. So the service is in progress. And then he
Mhm.
mentioned about a man who had lived in his community, and everybody know that the man was just terrible. He was not
Mhm.
nice. He abused his wife, all kind of stuff he would do. But yet at the funeral, they came and asked him if, they could have it at his church. He said, fine, because, the church is for the community, as we know. But the man no come church.
Exactly.
He does not come to the
Right.
church. So everybody in the, when you have to do what they call that portion, when you go up and talk about the deceased, the tributes, thank you, producer, the
Tribute.
tributes.
Yeah.
Everybody has said, oh, he was nice and so on and so on. So he said, when he went up now to give the brief sermon,
Mm-hmm.
because he's like that. He reminds me of the pastor we just saw in the clip. You saw him still.
Straight.
He
Yes.
just said, this adulterer who no calling decent man. And he said no. He refused to speak over this man, sending him off to heaven. When he know
was
the man
in
was
living
gonna
hell.
no God, no heaven. And he said no. He decided, and they came at him afterwards for it. How
Yes.
this man was just making their loved one look bad and something. And he's saying, oh really? The man who
He spoke the
everybody
truth.
know that he's just reckless and all kinds of carryings on. He said, no, I am not going to be doing that. So he gave a sermon, and yes, after that, he wasn't liked very much, he said, but he didn't really care. So,
And
you
that's
know,
usually how it is. When you speak the truth, people can't deal with it. It's human behavior.
yes, brother. And everybody want to hear something nice about their loved one when they come.
Yes.
You know? And if it
So
means
if you
you're going
want nice things to be said about you, do nice things. That's how I see it.
Mhm. So my sissy says, many don't like the truth, but keep voicing truth. You're helping a lot of folks that don't have knowledge of losing someone and have to be preparing for funeral and burial and the whole shenanigans. Yes, Jen, I hear you.
Yeah.
Eval says, enough lie tell in the tribute. Sometimes you have to say it's the wrong body in the casket.
Don't keep me on disagreeing.
Naughty Jesus.
Oh Lord, but it's the truth. Because they just want everything to come out smooth and nice and sound pretty, but everything ain't always gonna be pretty. That's not how life is made up.
One
You're gonna
lady
have the
told her,
negatives and the positive.
right? One lady tell her son to go look to see who in the coffin. She believes she's at the wrong funeral. He treated her really bad. You see that? No, sir.
Oh
No, but
Lord.
it's true though. And so again, it comes back to how we live our lives, the relationship
Yes.
we have with people. What are we doing so that when we pass, there is something? Because as you said, Max, and that comes with discipline. Many of us learned
Yes.
the discipline of money management early, some
Yes.
extremely late.
Never learn at all.
We
Yeah.
know that when we don't pay we bills on time, which includes the insurance, unless you call and say to the insurance company, can you give me until so and so? But if you're really not paying your premium and all of that, right, then you're in problems. Also, did you know that there are people who actually prepare their own funeral program, the program done already? They're not leaving
Yes.
it to anyone to do.
To
They're
do it. Yes.
printing how many people they think may show up, but they print their programs already. Everything is already in place so that they don't put their families through that kind of
Yes.
stress, right? But no matter how we look at it, when you have to take shame out of the eye of everybody in the family, everybody now
Yes.
come together, it should send a message to everyone in our family that, hey, family and relationship harmoniously is important. I go back to that. Because if you're getting along, Max, and still need help,
Yes.
nobody don't
Yes.
stress like that.
No. But when the animosity is sitting there and the time comes to help, that's where the issue starts.
Yes.
It's
yes.
funny because I know of a situation right now as we speak. It's a friend of mine. Mother passed away in Jamaica. He lives here and his brothers another family member lives in Jamaica. And this is something we have to look into as well. So the family members, because a lot of people think when they live abroad, you have it all, especially if you know you do certain things for a living or certain kind of job, they think you have it all laid out financially. So the mother passed away, and the family members in Jamaica, they went ahead and they went to the burial, what you call them, the funeral service people, and they chose a package. They didn't call and say, hey, brother, we have 2 or 3 packages here, one for 2,000, one for 10,000, and one for 20,000. Nobody said it. These are just numbers I'm throwing out there. Nobody didn't call and say, these are the packages. This is what gonna cost. What do you think we should choose? Or do you think we should choose this, or this? They didn't do that. They just went ahead, chose a package, send it to him and say, okay, this is the package. This is the amount of money. It's $1 million Jamaican, and this is it. He didn't get a chance to participate in the choosing of anything. They just chose and send off the money for the funeral. No, to me, that's not even correct. It's not my business, but I'm just saying, since we're on the topic, that to me, that's wrong. Because if you're gonna go ahead and choose package rather, then you should at least come with 3 different packages and say, hey, okay, this is this. Yes. What do you think we should choose? What can we afford? You can't tell yourself that your brother can afford, and they're not contributing to it. It's him. So all those things, it's just not right.
Yes.
And that is just the package. What about the setup and the how much days of people coming to your house and you have to provide for them, and the grave digging and the everything else? Because that is just the package, which consists of the burial ground, the casket, the water view. There's more expenses, so these things we have to take into consideration and be mindful of.
Right. Sorry to interject, Maxie. But most funeral homes have packages.
Yes, they do. And they have more than one. So you have to choose the one that's suitable for your pocket.
Of course.
But everybody want to look big and look rich, so they went and choose, the people go and choose the most expensive one, and you don't have to.
Yes, sir. So what would we do at that point? Say, no, that is not the one we're going with. I don't have that money.
That's what I'm talking about. And then this person have to know, find plane fare. You have to buy your ticket to go to Jamaica. You have to carry clothes. And if you don't mind shop, you have to carry clothes for people wait to funeral and all these things. I've seen it. Where somebody died, can't one frock for me now. Can't one pair for me now, have nothing to wear.
Yeah. Oh, no. No. If you send a package to me, I'm going to ask, what are the other packages involved? I would like to see them. I would not get myself locked into that. And they offer it to you. But again, you see how
I know they do.
You see how it go. When people live in foreign, we would like to make a declaration that it is like anywhere else in the world, and $1 is $1.
Yes.
Some of us end up over in other parts of the world, either by choice, circumstances, or somebody pull you come here. Right? So when you come here, wherever here is, and it's not there, it simply means that you're going to now have to figure your way out, which many have done, figuring them way out and how to manage. So when the novelty and the false messaging that has gone out for so many years, that this, wherever you go, including the great US, is like paved with gold.
You just pick it up.
Gold. People need to check themselves and say, hey, I know how much I earn, and this is what I can afford. How much you giving? So everybody now has to come with their little thread bags.
With their little bit, yes.
Yeah. And say, all right, this is what we're going to give Mama. This is what we're going to send off. That is, what is what Mama going to get for our funeral? This is what, and that's how it is.
Yes. When my mother passed away, that's exactly how they did it. They had a meeting. They had a Zoom call, and all the siblings got together on the Zoom, and everybody decided how much they could put on how they would do it. And they buried her nicely. The same thing happened with his dad. Well, his dad had a pretty penny in the bank in Jamaica, so most of what he had buried him, but they only had to pull a little bit. But even so, everybody put what they could and made him had a good funeral too. So
Yes,
it's
yes.
all about pulling together and making it together. But you, the individual, you as you live your life, and I'm speaking to me and you and everyone who's listening to the sound of my voice, we have to put aside something. I do a video almost every Friday, and I always say, when you get your pay, put a little bit away for rainy day, because you just never know
That
what
is
and how
true,
and why.
Maxie.
Don't tell
That
yourself
is
that.
true.
Don't tell yourself that. Oh, when me dead, me have to bury. Or when me dead, my family will bury me. People talk like that,
Yes, yes.
People speak like that. They do. I remember too that I have my aunt in England. She passed away, but I have an uncle in Jamaica who passed away last year. Or was it early this year? But my uncle in Jamaica was so sick because he had cancer, and we thought we were gonna bury him a long while back. But he just passed away this year. And my aunt that lives in England know that the uncle, his brother, who is my uncle, was so sick that she sent money to Jamaica to my other uncle who is younger. And my uncle had that money in the bank put down. And my aunt who sent the money passed away, leave the brother who she had sent the money to bury. She passed away first. But when he finally passed away, my uncle who the money was sent to was able to present the money to the kids. To say, here, his sister sent me this to help with the funeral. Yes, because that aunt that died, she helps everybody. She's like the heart of the family.
Yes.
She's always giving and helping, and but I'm just showing you how organized they were. So we have to pick up the mantle and carry on just the same way, because death is sure.
Okay. Yes, miss. Stay with us. I take a quick break. It is Saturday morning runnings. Broke after funeral. Let's talk. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This summer, set sail for a purpose. Join Eagles Wing Community Outreach Inc. for the second annual Ghana Missions Boat Ride, Sunday, June 22nd at 6 p.m. We're boarding aboard the Skyline Princess at One World Sphere Marina, Flushing, New York. And this isn't just a boat ride. It's a night of mission, music, and meaning. Enjoy live performances from dynamic guest artists Janet Lewis, Jocelyn Foster, and Dwight Schroeder, plus music by DJ Apache to keep the energy flowing all night. Come dressed in your finest African attire and celebrate culture, faith, and purpose. All aboard the Skyline Princess. The cost is $125. Scan the QR code to buy your tickets. It's hosted by Bishop Julian and Reverend Dr. Ingrid Stevenson. Call 914-620-5070 for more information or to reserve your ticket. The Ghana Missions Boat Ride. Praise, purpose, power. Set sail aboard the Skyline Princess and help build a vocational training school and church for the youth of Adase. Together we're creating opportunity, empowerment, and hope for generations to come. Be a part of the journey. Don't miss it.
Minister Patrick Tyson and Brother Claver Schrouter, in collaboration with Sister Lemuel Hunt, presents A Taste of Heaven on Earth Part 2 on Saturday, September 13th, 2025, to be held at the Bronxwood International Church of God, located at 3232 Lurton Avenue in the Bronx. Featuring Minister Judith Gale, Minister O'Shane Mays from out of Jamaica, Minister Claver Schrouter, Minister Dwight Schrouter, Brother Tajay Nichols, aka Singer Wayne, and Sister Shakira. Tickets adults $40, children $25. Doors open at 5 p.m. Showtime 6 p.m. sharp. Your MCs for the evening will be yours truly, Minister Patrick Tyson and Lady D. A part of the proceeds from this event will go to Bronxwood International Church of God Carpet Project. This event is sponsored by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant. For tickets and more information, you can contact Minister Tyson at 347-961-6785 or Minister Claver Schrouter at 914-336-0623.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Maxie. All right, so tomorrow, as you have just seen, I've been running and posting the Ghana Missions Boat Ride for several weeks, and it's actually tomorrow. So I am hoping, I've been getting text messages over time, and people are saying they want to go and all of that. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to support, as well as the carpet project for the Bronxwood International Church of God, and that's in September. So, hey, things are going on, everybody busy, and we're trying to do our part. We also welcome you back to the show. It's Saturday Morning Runnings, aired 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings, and oh my Lord, it has been going well. The conversation with just Max and I flying this morning, and I think we're just doing fabulous. What do you think, Maxie?
Oh, yes, I know we are. Well, you know what? It's a topic that's so broad. There's so many parts that we can touch and cover, so it makes it even easier.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, we want to say we miss Jackie and Shernsey. Shernsey's in another location, and Jack's had some pressing matters. So it appears she won't be able to come on this morning, but I know they're going to watch the show, Max, and then they'll say, hey, we're sorry we weren't a part of it this morning. But we are so grateful that you are here with us and participating. I love the comments. Drop some more, man, because as we're talking about broke after burial, we talk about being pressured to give a loved one a proper send-off, the big casket, the motorcade, the band, you know, it's catered, or the role of tradition, the role of tradition, expectations, and public opinion. And I think that's where a lot of people have actually succumbed to that kind of pressure. Because if in the public's eye, you're not doing what everybody else is doing, then it look like you're poor, things bad, and
Are you mean?
Are you mean? And you're trying
Yeah.
to pull off something, you know, to save face. But of course, we want to say that the goal is to help us understand where the pressure comes from, and challenge us to think critically about our motives.
Absolutely.
Right?
By the way, I noticed they're on TV. Well, it's not just on TV because it's the reality of it. But they do it specifically for seniors, where they talk about burial and funerals, and they say the cheapest funeral is 8,000, and that's when you're doing cremation.
Yes.
Cremation.
And a lot of people have been going for
$8,000.
that. You know, a lot of people have been going.
Yeah, a
for
lot of people are opting for that because it's cheaper. Yeah.
Because they can't afford anything else. So hey,
That's it.
we and you have to know your pocket,
Exactly.
because you know, while you have, there were the days when it was just the Formica.
I remember, yes. Now everything is fancy and posh and colorful.
Hello.
You know, when we get to the point where we know us talking about color and all of that, back in the days when I was a child growing up, people wore white or black or purple to funeral. Now they're giving you color scheme. Oh, everybody should wear blue. Or everybody should wear black. And they're giving you, you know, what if you don't have a blue dress? You can't go to the funeral? And you can't afford to get one at the time.
All you do, you just say, yeah, regrettably, because it's just like hosting any other event. Sometimes they say all white or blue or this. When we were getting married, someone had asked if we were going to do colors. I'm like, no, I'm not putting anybody under any pressure.
Exactly. That's the
look
point.
For no color scheme, nothing like that. So yes, but there's an article that had come out back in January of 2024, courtesy of the Jamaica Observer. And it says costly burials. And I'm sure it has gone up even more. It says Jamaicans spend up to $10 billion annually to send off loved ones. We've seen on social media some of the funerals, and all you can do is gawk, because you can't believe what you see.
Yes, I'm telling you, the arse-driven casket and all these things. What is that for? And when you go to the burial ground, the whole shebang, the house, like the shoes, like
Yes,
whatever they had loved, the person I loved during their lifetime,
yes.
they create they
Mm-hmm,
create the thing the same way.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Is that
No,
necessary, really? It's crazy.
right. So even when um you design the house in the cemetery, right? You build a house and put the person in it.
What
You
the producer
you
say?
build a house, long story. You build a house and put the person in it, right?
Yes.
No, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um, there may be, and the house may just the house in the cemetery could have built a house for your mother, your grandmother, your father, whoever.
Exactly.
So you said to yourself, so again, now this is also in perspective, right? Because if they already had a
Mm-hmm.
home and so on, but if you want to be lavish and just put them in that kind of a setting, not a regular tombstone, nothing, then that's okay too. But what if they were in a little shack? You know, many families, children have their parents living in some little dung the hole,
Yes. I know
Danish
them, they them put them in a
looking.
house like they can enjoy it.
Yes, structure that they live in, and when they die, they build up this big old something, put them in.
For no
Why?
reason at all.
So here is what the Observer said back in January of 2024, and today it is even worse. Funeral directors
Yes.
have said that while most Jamaicans have over the years tried to remain frugal when funding the last rites for loved ones, it is becoming more commonplace for a growing number of people to spend above average on the dead, with estimates that burials are costing Jamaicans up to $10 billion annually, with more people these days viewing death as a celebration for the dearly departed. There is also a greater propensity for some to want to spend above average or, in some cases, extravagantly when making the funeral arrangements, depending on the quality of the casket, burial vault, and other preferences. A traditional funeral and burial cost locally could be less than 5,000 US dollars or in excess of 10,000 US dollars. According to local statistics, funerals in Jamaica are said to be big business driven by average cost of some 250,000 to $300,000, which, based on the growing number of deaths across the population, feeds into a $6.3 billion industry of directly related expenses when calculated at the most basic level. In other instances, when fashion, food, and more associated costs are factored, this could further contribute as much as $10 billion to the local economy. Hello. So, yes, the funeral homes will be making money. The people who are operating the entertainment department in the lights
Yes.
band will be making money. The store that you have to go and buy the suit and the shroud and what have you will make,
Everything, yeah.
right? So it is a pool. However, our concern would be is whether or not you can afford it. Whether or not you can afford it. And that's where I think we are focusing on. If you can afford it, there is no need to have a conversation. But if you can't afford it and put yourself in debt for
Yes. It's not
somebody,
worth it.
no, sir. No, sir. I had heard a comment once, and I'll say it here. It is not the most um, um, complimentary, but somebody had And so this is from my community in Penance. But somebody had said, then how much money they must spend up so, and then a nyami man. Excuse me. So if you're not sure what I just said, let me translate.
Yes.
They were saying that look how much money, take a look at the amount of money that is being spent, and they cannot have the gentleman for a meal.
I have one too. I have one too. When I lived in Jamaica, I lived in a little district in Manchester. That was in Manchester. Yes, now and I we live at this house, and in the district, somebody had passed away, and there was a guy who was not so right in his mind. You know, it was kind of mad or the same quarter crack. He was not right mentally, and he was talking and complaining. He saw my brother who was staying with me at the time, and he said to my brother, with this man, when he did, I give her $40. I know that in dead, they must spend $40,000. I mean, the man that made this statement is not right in his mind, but he saw what was going on. He said, when the man is alive, he's not giving away $40. I know that in dead, they must spend 40,000. Yeah, so those are principles.
Yes, please. So Andrea says, I tell my husband, don't tell no lies at my funeral if I die before him. And she says, and mother did that years ago, even bought the burial ground when we were talking about people who prepare,
right,
prepare for their
making preparation. Yeah.
Paula and I grew up together in community. I remember a person in my community died, and they asked Claudia to write the eulogy, but she didn't because the man was a bad man. That's my cousin Claudia.
Okay, so you know what to
write eulogy, and I don't blame her. What you're gonna put in it? Make up story.
Yes, and if you speak the truth, they ain't gonna make you read that, eh?
Nah. So Eval says, Andrea, you can write your own eulogy. So Max, it's big time competition in some communities for funerals to outdo others.
Outdo the others, yes. I realize that. Another thing.
1 minute, Maxie, hold on to the thought. Don't let it miss you. Mary, I had a patient who planned her funeral. She did not want her son to be burdened. There you go. Go ahead, Maxie. What were you saying?
What I was about to say, another thing that I learned when I went to Jamaica in St. Norman's mother funeral is the fact that if there is a dance or party or anything that's planned in that area and somebody died, they have to put it off because the funeral takes precedence. Yes,
of course.
The funeral, because when the funeral have the band and have the music and whatever, they have the free food, everybody goes there, nobody's coming to the party. So that's another trend that they do. If you plan something other than, and somebody pass away and the funeral, the dead yard and the funeral is happening during that same time, you have to forfeit your party or your event to facilitate the burial, because otherwise nobody's showing up to the event.
And that's respectful too.
Yes. But they don't do it all that, but it's not because of respect why they do it. The real reason is the fact that you're not gonna get the support for your event because everybody going to the funeral or the dead yard where the free food and the music and everything is provided.
There you
free
go.
of cost to them.
So it's going to flop.
Yes.
Okay. You hear
so it's not because of respect, it's because of the freeness.
You're my husband now. Laugh out loud, lady. Do you get throw rocks in a pig?
It's the reality of it,
Yes. Lord, wife, put on her one-of-a-kind voice. Oh, when I'm reading. Yes, please. So Drea says, we're going to wrap up shortly. Even if I had the money, I would prefer to let somebody who needs help get it. All that in the ground to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, we have had, we've had Donna on who spoke about investments and wills, and we've had Karsa on. We've had people who have shared information with us on this platform about how to plan ahead. Even if you're struggling in the planning, as we would say, go on with it. Keep keep doing it. You at least,
Right.
if something happens to you, they can say, well, yes, I know where she has this, and it can go toward, her burial
Right.
expenses and so on. It is important. I believe in life insurance. I think it is important. You can even borrow from your
Yes.
spouse. It depends, but in all of it, we may not get it down pat. What we are saying here is that it is so important to build relationships. I use the term a harmonious one, a loving one, because
Yes.
whether you like it or not, the celebration of life need to be truthful.
Yes.
Yes. And hey, are we guilty? Are we guilty for perpetuating this funeral fiasco? Um, People will say no. People may say no, we do what we want to do. But
Mhm, that's true. To
if you
each his
go
own.
to the humane side of the conversation, where we're talking about how you care for each other when you're alive, so when death comes, you're not putting on a show.
Yes.
So we have to prompt deep reflection and honest dialogue about how we mourn and why. Are we really mourning, or are we just hurrying up to bury the person? You'd be surprised how many things.
Mhm.
There's some funerals, there's no honor. It's just a show.
Yes, I've
Yeah,
seen
it's
some.
just a show. So, we talk about planning ahead, life insurance, wills, burials, all of those things, celebrating lives with meaning over money. Hey, shifting the mindset from showmanship to,
Yes.
to sustainability. And so we are empowering each other to break the cycle of financial strain after death. That's really what it is.
Yes.
Um,
As the topic says, broke after burial, because we don't want to put ourselves in a situation where we spend everything on this person that is deceased, and then we're in trouble after. The next day we can't barely find dinner. Then the following month we can't pay our mortgage or our rent because
yes,
we lavish everything just to show off.
right,
It's not worth it.
right, right. And, we could ask the question, have you ever had to take out a loan for a funeral? Did your
Well,
family
that's another
fight
thing.
over funeral plans or costs, which we know has happened? What's one thing you would do differently next time in the event
Hmm.
somebody passes? So it's important for us to build community. I believe in that. You can come into this world and just either live for yourself, by yourself, do everything yourself, and not, validate experiences, and
Yeah, you have to have
keep
inclusion. You must have
yourself.
inclusion.
And
You have to have.
yes, ma'am. Yes. So I am saying here, as Max and all of you who are viewing and you've made the comments, we've seen people gotten what they would call a poor man's burial, right? I've gone to a funeral here, a young person, he was about 19. And when I went into
Wow.
the church, it was the funeral director, her two assistants, the mother, Arlene, who comes on the show, Arlene, her sister, Denise, and maybe 9 people.
Wow.
9 people sitting in a huge church. Why you think that happened? Because of the life that young man lived.
Yes. What happened to the schoolmates and the neighbors and
There
everyone
you
else who
go.
knew him?
Nobody came. Nobody came. So we have to, know. Yes. So, live good now with one another. less grief and guilt at funeral.
Yes.
Because no matter how you come posing up and flashing and stuff,
Yeah.
the conscience will not let us go. The conscience
That's
not going to
it.
let us go.
No, hold you
So,
to
Matt,
it.
what would be your final comments before I do the closeout? And just to big up everybody and tell them thanks.
And this is something I say regarding the topic. This is something I say almost every Friday when I do my little video that I do on a Friday, most Fridays. Put away something for rainy day. Don't rely on family all the time. Sometimes we think we don't earn enough, so we can't put away nothing. No matter what, you don't have to put away the same amount every time. But pinch something, no matter how small. Every little bit adds up. One Coke of full basket, put away something. So in the event of your departure, family members are not left with the stress and the grief financially. You should be able to contribute to your own as well. That's my final word here for this topic this morning.
And it's good to see you, Gooden. Gooden, you're coming in late, man. Welcome. Gooden was with us last week. We had such a great conversation for our Father's Day program. Thank you, Gooden. So
Gooden
as we're going to lady, Max says you will give the closing prayer, the doxology. But as we're going, love isn't proven by the cost of a casket. It's shown in how we live, how we treat one another, and how we plan ahead. Let's break the cycle of funeral debt and start valuing life in a deeper way. If today's show touched you, it resonates with you in a very meaningful way. And if all of us need to go make some adjustments, correct some things in terms of how we, we say that's how we flow, in terms of how we flow. Grudges, there must be a takeaway from each show that we do. If we're holding grudges, we need to go make it right. So that, and if we find that we are truly, truly not kind, somebody asks us for something and we know we have it and we not give it.
Your
Even
conscience
if
will
a
play on
person
you.
had wronged you, we have to start making these things right so that in the event of our passing, we don't leave this earth with so much animosity we could create a backdrop with it.
Yes, very important. Yes.
So
somebody's asked to write something about right attribute. They should be able to write it willingly and not back off because you know you lived well. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, broke after burial. What are we doing? But we want to thank you for joining us today. And while you're on the platform, if you have, I look like a school teacher with my finger. Oh, boy, let me move it away. But before the show ends, if you have not tapped the subscribe button, Voices with Lady D, we're asking you to do so. Voices with Lady D, where every voice has power, and your voices are helping to build this platform, put the word out. You see, conversations like these, a lot of people don't like to have them. They feel that it is not, engaging enough, or it not impactful. That's not true. This journey called life, it will stop for us one day.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. So we want to say we love you. And looking forward to being back next Saturday. What did you say, producer? Give what, please? And get right with God. That's the ultimate thing. Yes. So we'll be back next Saturday with another powerful topic, because every voice has power right here on Saturday morning runnings. I tell you, where culture meets conversation. That's our tagline for Saturday morning runnings, where culture meets conversation. So thank you, everyone. Maxie, we did it.
Yes, there.
And it's been so good
We
to
did
see
it.
you. Hey,
Yes.
Tiny. Tiny says some of our folks are scared of buying life insurance, also funeral pre-planning. I'm here to say these two works, at least for my family. Thank you for that, Tiny. Couldn't wrap it up with a
Thank
better
you.
acknowledgement. Yes. So thanks,
Yes,
everybody.
definitely.
We are going to say sooner next week. So, Max, what's your closing line right now?
May I come go around?
So I am left to do the rest. So me a come go on up, galang up, go down, so go round, so go on round, go on in, go up.
Me in early, so me I go around and then me I go up.
And
Oh,
all producer can say is have a nice day. You see that now?
okay.
Tell you.
That's
But
all
blessings,
right. Thank you,
everyone.
my dear. Same
We
to
love
you.
you,
You have a
love
nice
you.
day too.
Take it easy. Bye. Mwah.
All
We're
right.
out.
Bye.
I want to say congratulations to Mrs. Denise Gomez Green, aka Lady D. Congratulations, my friend. 17 years of excellence in broadcasting and dedicated service to the fraternity. What an, incredible milestone. Lady D, your voice has been a beacon of inspiration and enlightenment and encouragement to countless listeners. Listen, man, your unwavering commitment, passion, and authenticity have made a lasting impact, shaping conversations and uplifting hearts with every single broadcast. You have built a legacy of trust, professionalism, and meaningful storytelling, and your dedication to the craft is truly, truly commendable. I commend you, my friend. May this anniversary be a celebration of all the lives you've touched, the wisdom you've shared, the countless moments of connection that you've fostered. Wishing you continued success, abundant blessing, and many more years of influential broadcasting. Congratulations on this remarkable achievement. Congratulations. 17 years, girl. Keep moving forward, man. God bless you. Peace out. I'm Dr. D.
Congratulations to Lady D. Denise Gomez for celebrating 17 years of excellence, inspiration, and unwavering dedication. What a phenomenal milestone. From Inside the Zone to Voices with Lady D, you have graced the airwaves with knowledge, warmth, and a powerful voice that resonates across the Caribbean and throughout the diaspora. Your passion for uplifting our people, your fearless storytelling, and your deep cultural insight continue to enlighten and empower listeners near and far. Your journey is not just a celebration of longevity, but one of purpose, staying true to your roots, your community, and your mission. So, Lady D, here's to 17 incredible years on the mic, and to many more chapters of impact, truth, and powerful conversations. We salute you, Lady D, with love and admiration. This is Chris Wilby, the Vibes Master, and from all of us here at Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. Congratulations, Lady D.
Oh no, come here. Come hear this. Lady D celebrating her 17th year in radio broadcasting with a name change at that. Voices with Lady D. That will be the new name. Logs, make sure to come and support her. Tell on a friend and tell on a neighbor, say, Voices with Lady D is now broadcasting everywhere in the tri-state area and Jamaica. So let's celebrate her and her achievement.
Welcome to Voices with the Lady D, where every voice has power. I'm your host, Lady D Denise Gomez Green, inviting you to join me each week for real conversations, powerful stories, and uplifting perspectives that shine a light on voices from the community and the diaspora. Kick off your week with the Monday Drive from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Dive deep on Thursdays with Center Stage from 6 to 8 p.m. And ease into your weekend with Saturday Morning Runnings every Saturday at 10 a.m. Catch Voices with Lady D on YouTube, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network online and YouTube, and Fit FM 96.7 in Stuart Castle, Trelawney, Jamaica, or tune in on Linkage Radio online. So lock in, turn it up, and remember, every voice has power. This is Voices with Lady D. Celebrate the heartbeat of Caribbean culture with Saturday Morning Runnings. Join us on Saturday at 10 a.m. on YouTube as we showcase the vibrant heritage of Jamaica and the wider Caribbean with 4 incredible women, Sherns, Max, Jackie, and yours truly, Lady D. From powerful stories to cultural traditions, we're bringing the flavor, rhythm, and excellence of the Caribbean straight to you. It's more than a show. It's a celebration of the roots and traditions that inspire and unite us. Subscribe to Voices with Lady D on YouTube and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn to stay connected. Every Saturday at 10 a.m. it's Saturday Morning Runnings. Come feel the vibes. Saturday Morning Runnings, where Caribbean heritage comes alive. Ready for real talk and powerful conversations? Then subscribe to Voices with Lady D on YouTube, where culture meets commentary and the diaspora speaks loud and clear. Don't just scroll. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and tap the bell so you never miss a moment. From laughter to legacy, it's all happening here. Voices with Lady D, where every voice has power.